Fred Dixon, President and CEO of NYC Company. You're very welcome to Dublin.
Thank you so much. It is so good to be back.
And so good to have you back.
Yeah, I'm thrilled to be here, and thanks for the great weather.
Indeed, it's actually lovely today, isn't it?
It is really terrific, and to see the hustle and bustle in Dublin is really, really wonderful, and I'm thrilled to be here.
Great. I think it's worth emphasizing is that New York, from the start of the pandemic, or certainly when it started to reopen, is that it put the safety of all visitors and residents first. But at the same time, the challenge is to return to be that welcoming, inviting place that doesn't have any more restrictions than you absolutely need to have.
That's right, and that's what you'll find in New York. You know, I mean, we wanted to make sure that the workers were looked after as much as possible. Obviously, the residents, we were an early epicenter, so we learned those lessons the hard way. And they're being very thoughtful, I think, about how they're putting in the rules. So you'll find most things are relaxed, and I think as we go forward, things will continue to relax.
Yeah.
But in New York, the governor and the mayor both have confirmed that we still have the mask requirement on the subway system in the city. You'll find that in most places it's relaxed. Broadway still has their masking requirement up for a little bit longer.
Okay.
So what I recommend, as we do when we travel, right, is to check the local resources. So we encourage folks to go to our website, nycgo.com. It's updated every day with the COVID. You can see there's a tab right at the top, and just check the latest. Things will continue to relax.
Yeah.
And it's the New York you know and you remember.
Good. I'm glad. Well, I'm very glad to hear that. One of the things I saw is that there's a very active campaign, Explore New York Like a Local, broken down. You can visit by borough, but really it's visit the entire city. Visit all 5 boroughs like a local. Can you talk to us a little bit about what's behind the campaign and how it might influence Irish visitors to the city? Yeah,
one of the nice things about this market is it knows New York really well, for the most part. I mean, you probably would be hard-pressed to find travelers out of Ireland that haven't been to New York. We certainly want them to come for the first time, but we know that it's high repeat visitation. And as you know, and as we've messaged in the Irish market for a long time, the 5 boroughs of New York have infinite experiences. With the family connections that you have with Ireland and New York, of course, there's a lot of that natural exploration anyway, but we're encouraging in the comeback for people to keep in mind the small businesses in particular. Everyone obviously took a hit, small businesses in particular, and New York is not New York without its bars, its restaurants, its small retailers, its small museums. So we're working hard to make sure that everyone experiences some fruitfulness in the recovery. So that's really the message. We've always messaged, as you pointed out, neighborhood exploration. That's one of the great things about New York. You can have 1 million experiences. You come back every time, it's something new. But in the comeback, yes, we want people to come back for Broadway, for Times Square, for the Theater District, for the Empire State Building and Rock Center, but come back and explore the local neighborhoods. They need you too. Yeah,
so Midtown is great, but so's the rest of the city.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's so many exciting things happening, and some of the greatest new restaurants and retailers and experiences are found in neighborhoods in Brooklyn and in Queens, and there's a real focus on that deeper exploration right now, and we're riding that wave.
Okay. Hotel occupancy rates?
Yeah, it's really good. I got the report this morning for last week. Of course, it was a holiday week, but we set a new record for coming out of the pandemic.
Oh, really?
And New York was back the #1 market in the U.S. last week. So we're back in our proper place. Touch wood, that we'll stay there in terms of hotel performance. So that's a really good sign. It was a real bifurcated message in the U.S. because you had the southern states were doing really well throughout. And then the northern states and the coasts, where things were a little more conservative, have lagged behind. But I'm really happy to report New York is back.
And with airlines ramping up to their pre-pandemic flight schedules, which is great news for the entire industry, and so the Irish can return to New York in the numbers that are used to visiting. Certainly you had record number of Irish visitors in 2019?
We did, yeah, almost 300,000.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And I think we'll get more than half of those back this year.
Okay.
And to your point, we're thrilled the Shannon service has resumed. We know United and Aer Lingus both are going back to double daily out of Dublin. So we're really thrilled about the capacity building back. And we think it's going to be very easy. And I think it's going to be an easy choice for people to make to pop back over to New York. They want things they know and they love. They're looking for experiential right now, and New York has that.
Fred Dixon, an absolute pleasure.
It is.
Thank you very much.
Having me. It's good to see you.
And you.
Thank you.